Tom Brady, or is he substacking? Is that what's happening?
He's newslettering.
He's newslettering.
I saw that.
Hey, everybody needs to write stuff down and put their thoughts out and make sure that you provide your email information for future endeavors. I didn't know he was doing this. TomBrady.com, and he posted my thoughts on free agency. Interesting that his "my" is capitalized, M-Y.
Okay.
And it starts with reflection. Second paragraph, because he was talking about he was only involved in free agency once at the tail end of his career. And he wrote, "For me, it was a creeping decision that lived passively in the back of mind for 2 to 3 years until March of 2020, when a whirlwind of a few days made me realize that a decision was coming sooner rather than later. The reality was, after 20 years together, a natural tension had developed between where Coach Belichick and I were headed in our careers and where the Patriots were moving as a franchise. It was the kind of tension that could only be resolved by some kind of split or one of us reassessing our priorities." And that's in his weekly newsletter, 199 on TomBrady.com. And, listen, we all know the tension, whatever, and that hatchet has been buried multiple times, whether it was in the post-game locker room conversation. Remember when Brady came back as a Buck in Mac Jones's first year, where it was damn close?
Close game.
Yeah, right. The Patriots almost won that one.
Was that week 4?
And then Brady and Belichick met after the game privately. And then we all know the Brady roasters let every bygone be bygone because they, quite frankly, turned the Forum here in Los Angeles that night on Netflix into a therapy session for everyone to see. Everyone we've had on talking about that has fully admitted it felt that way.
Yeah, it was great. From
Bledsoe to Gronk to Edelman, absolutely. It got everything all out of their systems in advance of Brady's jersey retirement ceremony in Foxborough a few weeks later, where it was one big love fest. Yep. So, and we all understand, the reason why it was passive. We've heard it as well. Brady's contract wasn't being redone to his liking, and the hometown discount years were over. It made complete sense for him to break up. But the reason why we bring this up is for the next paragraph. He said that when Tampa Bay came into the picture as a serious option for him, he asked himself, as someone headed into their 40s with school-age kids and 20 years' worth of battle scars, what truly mattered? And he wound up with a list of about, as he said, 20 things that I then ranked on a graded scale from 1 to 3. Now, the difference between him and Aaron Rodgers, as Rodgers is going through his first free agency of his career in life, that, number one, he's already 40. 2, he doesn't have school-age kids. But he does have 20 years' worth of battle scars, okay? And so what I'd like to do is throw this out 1 to 3. You grade it between the Giants and the Steelers. So let's try and use the Brady system for Rodgers.
For Rodgers. Okay.
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 And so this is what he said he did between Tampa and New England, and it was done when he saw this on a piece of paper. The presence of skilled players was a 3 in terms of importance. He said, for example, the Bucs graded out as a 3 because of Evans and Godwin.
Big time.
Okay. And I'm imagining he said this has been Tampa and New England. But he doesn't say that. The Chargers were also an option for him back then.
Yeah, Raiders, Titans are a lot of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you grade the Steelers and the Giants in terms of skilled players? 1, 2, or 3? TJ, you chime in as well.
Okay.
DK Metcalf is there. George Pickens is there. Running back, we don't know.
Yeah, Freiermuth, Jalen Warren's still there. Maybe they take one in the draft. I would say the Steelers.
There are 2?
High end wide receiver talent.
Then you got the Giants. So then I'll put them as a 2.
Yeah, I don't want to give anyone a 1. I would say the Steelers 3, Giants 2.
You really think so? The Giants have got Malik Neighbors.
If you talk about talent,
Malik Neighbors. Okay.
But kind of nobody else after that.
Tyrone Tracy.
He balled out.
He balled out. He's a 1,000-yard rusher, pretty much.
I mean, him and Jalen Warren are kind of the same.
No, they're not.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I would put the Giants running back situation above Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren's never been a bell cow in his entire life.
Well, this was the first time Tyrone Tracy had the opportunity.
Theo Johnson balls out too. If you want, you could put. How about this? Put the Steelers 2.5, the Giants at 2.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
I was thinking at 2.5.
Okay.
I didn't know we were going half. But yeah,
Coaching,
2.5.
head coach. He said he gave the Bucks a 3 because of Bruce Arians.
I think they're even. I think that it's 2-2 at this point. Giants and Steelers.
Okay. Would you do the same thing as well? You put Tomlin and
I think
put Tomlin above. I would give Tomlin a 3, and Arian and Daboll a 2, just because of their status and ability to stick around.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Their security.
Tomlin's living off reputation. He
But you had
average
to do
coach,
something to
average
build
coach
that
the last
reputation.
Yeah, but average coach the last 5 years.
But you don't know how long he's going to be. You don't know how long the Giants coach is going to be there. You just don't. I guess if you go there, you know he's going to stick around.
Yeah, I have them even 2-2.
Okay, fine. Game day weather. They're both the same, right?
Yeah.
Practice weather. They're the same.
Same, yeah. I mean, a little colder in Pittsburgh.
Financial compensation was on the list, but obviously it wasn't at first. It probably wasn't even top 10. Didn't even rank as a 3 in importance.
I can't imagine Rodgers is getting more than $25 million a year, probably, right?
He doesn't list any of the other metrics in which he graded 1 to 3. So you would give the edge to Pittsburgh over the Giants based on this.
I like the wide receivers better.
TJ?
I agree with him on the wide receivers. Yeah. I can't speak of what Giants Nation is all about. I know they have a huge fan base, obviously.
Yeah,
they're really living there, but being from Pittsburgh and knowing, man, you win in Pittsburgh, you are put on a pedestal like none other. So if you want to take all of that into your thought process.
Okay.
Being a Pittsburgh, but then again, the Giants, they're legendary too. So
I still give the Steelers the edge. I mean, there's one thing that he didn't put here, and I'm sure Brady had it on his list. He just didn't mention it here.
Division.
Chances to win a ring.
Yeah.
Because that's what Tom Brady's about. Mm-hmm. Chance to win a ring. That was the end of the story. New England was at the end of a run, and the Bucks were right there, needing someone like him to just be added into the mix.
Well,
that's the end of the
what
story.
division is tougher, the NFC East or the AFC North?
Oh, great question.
They're kind of even.
I think.
But the Giants are clearly 4th in that division.
That's the problem. That's why you're not going to. You're closer to winning a ring in Pittsburgh than you are in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go on a magical run.
AFC being harder than the NFC, though, does that cancel that out?
I don't know how is you could say that, but the NFC proved to be toughest, don't you think?
That's true, but I just look at top end quarterback talent, and it seems like it's a little deeper in the AFC.
I guess unless you think Jalen Hurts is. I mean, don't get Morris Chestnut started. Jalen Hurts is now elite, folks. This just in. And Jaden Daniels.
He's on his way.
Right. Goff finished as an MVP candidate. Stafford is at the end of a career that is just killing it. I might be hunting and pecking for just pushback there. NFC East has got the two teams that finished in that lasted longest in the NFC last year. I don't know if you want a piece of that. When you can go to the AFC North, and I understand there's a two-time MVP sitting in Baltimore, and there's Joe Burrow, and then there's Cleveland, which is up in the air. Totally. I'd want to go to Pittsburgh. Again, another thing that's on Tom Brady's list that maybe in real life that wasn't here, revenge factor. I don't know how that played in because obviously he knew Tampa was going to go to New England. I think it was in his
year two,
right?
It was year 2.
But the bottom line is Rodgers gets to play against the NFC North.
Right.
And the AFC East. No brainer.
I mean, when you take that into consideration,
no brainer.
And you feel he's Richard the King Petty.
No brainer.
Then yeah, that's right.
But then you're like, what's the holdup?
I don't know. He's just Rodgers. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.